Hey guys, welcome back. In this Blender video, we're going to model this ferrous metal casting mechanical part. You can model this same shape by following along with the video. Then try modeling a similar type of shape on your own. So without wasting any time, let's jump right in. First, let's add a circle. And over here, set the vertices to 48. Why 48 vertices? Okay, I've added an image here to explain this. So every vertex lines up with these points on the object. Here, there are a total of 12 points. So yes, a 12 vertex circle would work here. But we need an extra edge running through the middle. This gives us more geometry to work with. Otherwise, the surface stays too flat. And when we apply subdivision, the geometry stretches and we start getting pinching. Another reason for having a line in the middle is symmetry. This lets us delete half of the mesh, add a mirror, and work much faster. So now it becomes 12 plus 12, which gives us a 24 vertex circle. But even then, we still need more edges in the middle. So we can add details like cutting holes. This helps keep the geometry clean. And it gives us enough resolution to add those details without any artifacts. So now it's 24 plus 24, which makes 48. So yeah, that's why we'll go with a 48 vertex circle. Now, select the circle and extrude it up. Then extrude and scale it inwards. Now extrude it up again. All right, to add the hole over here, first select this vertex, then press Shift S, cursor to selected. This will move the cursor exactly to that point. Now let's add a cylinder. Switch to side view, align the circle to the view. If we make the cylinder 24 vertices, which is half of 48, and try to fit it here, it won't work perfectly. The geometry won't line up correctly. So instead, we'll use a cylinder which has 16 vertices. You can go with 16 or 12, but this time we'll go with 16. This works nicely because it matches the surrounding geometry better. This way, the vertices line up nicely, and we can join them cleanly at every point, keeping the topology even. Now, we'll place this cylinder nicely here to join it using Boolean. So first, set the snapping type to vertex. This ensures the cylinder aligns precisely with the target vertices. If we scale and try to snap, you'll notice it doesn't snap because we need to turn on the scale option. This enables snapping while scaling. Now, scale, and it will snap correctly. Move this cylinder one step up and try to snap with this line. Now, this edge will snap with the top vertex, and the bottom edge will move slightly down. Now, move this cylinder back and place it nicely to connect. Keep it slightly out. Select the bottom part and delete it. Select the front part and insert it inwards. This is where the hole opening will be. Select the side edges, extrude them down, and snap them to the bottom. This edge, extrude down, then press SZ0 to flatten the edge. Move and snap it with the bottom part. Now, add a cut lining with this line, and add a cut in the middle. Move this vertex, snap and merge it. At the top, turn on Auto Merge. This ensures that when you snap vertices together, they weld into one automatically. Move and snap these vertices to merge them properly. Select these edges and use Loop Tool's Space to space these evenly. Scale and adjust this part so it lines up nicely. Make sure the edge aligns properly with the side of the cylinder. Select this edge, extrude and scale inwards, then move it up and adjust it nicely. Now, we'll join the cylinder with the object. So first, separate it by selection to make it a separate object. Then select this full mesh, go over here, and choose Symmetrize. At the bottom, choose the correct axis. This ensures both sides are equally mirrored. Now, enable face orientation to check if the normals are facing in the correct direction. See that red? That means the normals are not facing correctly, so press Shift-N to fix them. If they're not facing the correct direction and the faces are inside out, that can cause problems with the Boolean. Now, we'll use Boolean, but with the Bool tool add-on, select this object, then select the main object. Press Ctrl-Shift-B and choose Union. This will connect the parts, combining them cleanly. To enable Bool tool, go to Preferences, then Add-ons, and enable Bool tool. This allows easier Boolean operations. Now we'll clean this part. First, delete these faces. Now select the full mesh and use Merge by Distance. This will merge any overlapping vertices. Here, delete these unnecessary faces. Now slide and merge these vertices. Here, we'll add a loop cut, then select and join these vertices. Check that there are no overlapping vertices. If there are, merge them. Here, we'll add 3 cuts so we can join these vertices here. But before that, we can dissolve these middle edges to minimize the geometry. We don't really need that extra edge density there, so removing them keeps the mesh lighter and cleaner without affecting the shape. Then, join these vertices here. Now add 2 cuts here and 3 cuts here. Then join these vertices. This vertex here, we can slide it this way, select this edge and slide it slightly to make this part rounded. Now we'll add the small cylinders on the top. First, select this vertex, then press Shift-S cursor to selected. This will bring the 3D cursor to that point. Here, you can see that on one corner, there are 2 vertices. So on 4 sides, we get a total of 8 vertices. So we'll add an 8 vertex cylinder. Scale and fit the cylinder nicely here so we can connect it cleanly using Boolean. Now, separate the cylinder by selection to make it its own object. Then, connect it using the Bool tool Boolean, choosing Union. Now, select everything and use Merge by Distance again to remove any overlapping vertices. Here, insert this face inwards, then extrude it down, and delete the face. Now, join this part. Here, slide and merge this vertex in the middle. Then, join these vertices. Check if there are no overlapping vertices. Okay, so now this looks good. Now, we'll delete the other side parts and just keep the detailed section so we can duplicate copies of it all around. Select the side parts all around and delete them. We only need this small part. The rest can be mirrored and duplicated using the spin tool. Now, select this edge and extrude it inwards. Add a few loop cuts here. Add a loop here as well. Now we'll bevel all the sharp edges. First, apply scale. First, select this edge and then bevel it. Here, we'll keep the shape profile rounded only. Now select and bevel these edges. And here, make the shape one. Select these edges and then bevel them. Here, choose arc, so it looks something like this. Then join these vertices. Bevel this edge as well. Now to make this part sharp, select this edge and bevel it. Then slide and merge this vertex here. Dissolve this middle edge, and then slide this edge slightly. Here we can slide these vertices a bit to fine-tune the shape. Okay, now add a subdivision modifier. Then also shade smooth the object. And now this looks good. Now let's duplicate and mirror this part using the spin tool. First, select the full mesh, then bring the 3D cursor to the world origin so we have a perfect center point. Next, over here, choose Symmetrize to mirror the detail onto the other side. Now switch to the top view, then press Alt-E and choose Spin. Here, make sure to check Use Duplicates, and then adjust the number of copies you need. After that, select the entire mesh and use Merge by Distance. This is an important step because the tool leaves a lot of overlapping vertices. Now, when we activate the Subdivision Surface modifier, you can see that the mesh is clean and looks great. Next, select this edge and extrude it inwards, then extrude it up. Here, select these edges, and then bevel them. In the middle, add a cut. Now extrude this edge inwards and then extrude it down. Then bevel these edges. Now we'll add the hole over here. So select these faces here, and then insert them slightly inwards. Then use Loop Tool's circle to make the shape circular. Go to the top view, scale it, and fit the circle inwards nicely. Then delete the faces. Now select the edge and extrude it down, snapping it to the bottom. Then bevel this edge, and then add a few loop cuts here. Now we'll need to repeat the same steps to duplicate copies of this part around the mesh using the spin tool again. Now activate the subdivision modifier, then go over here and turn on cavity, and now this model is perfectly done. Here, we can also do something like this by sliding and merging the edge here, which also looks good. Or you can do something like this as well by dissolving these edges and then adding an edge over here like this, which can also kind of work. It looks okay, kind of, but we won't do anything like that. We'll keep our original mesh. All right, so that's it for this one. The modeling is done and it turned out really nice. In the next video, we'll be modeling this shape right here, so make sure you stay tuned for that. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and also drop a comment below and let me know your feedback. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.